What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG studios here in New York City. I'm Axel Toss, joined by Axlab and Total Biscuit. Of course, we're watching the WCS America Premier League qualifiers, where the top 8 qualify for the Premier Division of WCS America. A lot is on the line in this tournament today, and I want to thank you all for joining us. Of course, we've been going at it since, I think, about 9 hours ago, and we've been having a great time. So thank you so much for staying up late with us, and that extends to you, Mr. Total Biscuit. I know you didn't have to be here, but once again, thanks for joining us and providing the always illustrious commentary you choose to provide.
Ah, it's fun.
Good.
Everyone loves it.
Fantastic.
Most people love it. Some people really hate it.
Everyone in their right mind loves it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're watching a Terran versus Zerg series of this caliber between two incredible players, like this guy right here. His name is the STC. He's playing for Complexity. He is in the blue trunks playing Terran to the northwest of this Belshire vestige, which I'm embarrassed to say I first got confused with Ohana. I really did.
No, that's fine.
Same tile set?
Yeah, it's mostly
Similar
the same
base
now.
layout, too. If you look at the 5
Yeah.
at the top, 5 at the bottom.
Even uses the same tile set, I believe, so it gets a little bit confusing, but the way you can tell is, of course, by that double ramp, which is just to the right of the natural there. Anyway, his opponent, who has made this series very exciting indeed, well, both of these guys have been responsible for a great series so far, one apiece in this best-of-3 series. One of these guys advances in the winner's bracket and gets very, very close to that all-so-important qualification spot, and then the other will drop down to the loser's bracket, which Hart has described as hell, by the way. He said, I am in hell. So I think most of the Koreans think that way right now about the loser's bracket. Anyway, yes, Axiom Miya, who is in the red trunks, playing Zerg to the southeast. Looking to get some Zerg versus Terran vengeance for his loss in GSTL last night.
Against SC.
Oh my god, SC. SC is terrifying. What the hell? You can't just come back from playing League of Legends and play that well.
I think that proves that League of Legends does carry over the skills.
He also plays it like League of Legends, though. He just has his Marines rallying across the map, like the
minions.
The minions.
The players don't actually
exactly.
control.
Okay. Minions have spawned. And it's just waves of Marines over and over again. It's like, this is not fair. What the hell's going on? I want to be on the purple team. Whatever the case, SC played a phenomenal series, and this is the guy that had a collapsed lung, for God's sake. He is such a trooper. I am so excited to see SC back in StarCraft 2. I remember that an ST versus SC match, and being one of the best Terran versus Zerg ever played in StarCraft 2, and he is an exciting player. Got to give all due credit for that.
Was it the one on Crossfire? Am I remembering that?
I think it was Crossfire, yes. It was the one where it came down to the wire
Like a Thor.
of having, Thors.
Yeah.
You remember the Thors and the Mutas? And
yep.
ST just edged it out. It was insane. Anyway, speaking of insane, what do we get here? We actually got CC first from the STC.
Do indeed. Adding on a gas, not too far after, so probably going to go for that factory.
Yep. That's an interesting move. Mostly when you see that CC first, you generally see the double barracks follow up because you want all those extra Marines, you want to catch up, but yeah, you're probably right. Factory is most likely coming with that gas.
Alright, we got bunker going down. Now, I'm wondering how STC is going to open up. I feel like, at least beyond what we've seen so far, I feel like obviously the Hellbats worked for him in Game 1. Do we see a similar strategy in Game 2? Because if we remember in Game 3, excuse me, in Game 2 he went for, I think it was a faster third command center, but definitely didn't incorporate those drops as much as he did in Game 1.
No, you're right, he didn't.
Yes. The third command center was much faster in Game 2, of course.
Yes.
You know, cutting out the armory helps helps a little bit, as well as the later starport.
That it certainly does. The factory going down, it is right next to the barracks with the reactor. Reactors are a little later than you would expect for a sync-up, but of course you could build one unit, or you could just float it and just say, all right, I'm just going to wait for you to be finished. It's not really a big deal. It's only a few seconds. Miya taking all 4 gas really fast here. Note that. Actually, never mind. That's 3 gas. He's missing. He wasn't on any gas before that. He's missing 1 in his main.
Interesting. So looks to be some type of 2-base tech, most likely. He didn't get any gas quick, like you mentioned, right? He was on 0. So it's almost kind of like a Mass Queen gases opening, where you get a lot of drones and all of a sudden you take all your gases really quickly. There goes the Roach Horn.
All right.
Interesting. He's putting that behind the base and not using it to help out in the wall against potential Hellions.
It's almost like he wants to hide it, potentially.
Yeah,
there are some builds where you go for 9 to 11 to 12 roaches and you just pressure across the map. You drone it behind it, take a third potentially, but Obviously, the goal being, all right, let's force that natural expansion to lift up. Let's take advantage of a greedy Terran. So, you know, that could definitely be possible. Also, you can just make a bunch of Lings, maybe add on a Baneling list. You could go for some sort of all-in. So I think that remains to be seen here from Miya.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'd have to wonder. Just he knows about the CC. He actually saw the timing of it very, very early on as well. So he is aware of exactly what he's up against, and it looks like he is going to power forward. He is still building metabolic boosts, so he'll probably send Lings as reinforcements while his Roaches. There it is. Could very well just be a big 2-base Roach Baneling all in to bust down that front, which is probably it's a pretty good option, I think, for him right now. What do you reckon, Nick?
I think it's a great response. If you know your opponent's going for that fast third CC, like the STC did last game and is doing this game, as long as this is priced. Oh, but there goes his scan.
He scanned it all.
That is a money scan. If STC now, if he just builds a lot of bunkers, this is going to be terrible for Miya.
Gosh, do you change your path? Do you change your plans now as Miya? I don't know.
No, I don't even know if he saw the scan. Like, unless your screen's there, you don't know they scanned it.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know. If your screen's around that area, you'll hear it, certainly, but otherwise, maybe not. He's not building any more drones behind this, so he looks like he's going to try and make it work regardless. These 2 Widow Mines are going to be an absolute nightmare to handle, though. Unless he sends, like, a Roach forward first to absorb the Widow Mine hits, then these Banelings could actually get hit by them before they're even able to connect to anything.
Stim is nearly done.
It didn't detonate.
So
that was unfortunate.
I feel like STC, or he should be aware that the Widow Mines, they're trying to send a Link forward, but the Marine killed a little bit too fast. The Widow Mine not taking any shots at the Banelings just yet. 1 bunker going down, still 3 in the back though. Widow Mine's trying to get burrowed into the ground, and this is, I don't know if this is going to work, but still a lot of Roaches. The 3 Banelings coming forward, trying to make it a detonation into the SCVs.
He didn't get a connection on the SCVs. That was absolutely crucial there to really do a lot of damage, and while he busted the front down, I don't know if he really accomplished what he was looking to do here. In fact, I'd safely say that he didn't.
No.
He only killed 3 workers. That was nowhere near what it needed to be.
Gosh.
The big danger is not going to be the counter swing once 1-1 upgrades complete. Bio with stim and upgrades versus Roaches with no speed. Banings with no speed is going to be a fight that really, really favors the Terran.
And also the 3rd command center has been on the ground forever, so even if he loses some SCVs, compared to his opponent, his economy is going to be fantastic. Here comes Miya in for a 2nd try, coming forward with the Banelings, detonating into the bunker. Not able to make it to that SCV line, and STC just gonna shove Miya away. He's up 67 to 58 in supplies, up on upgrades, up on tech, up on workers, up on unit comp and army. It's this is not looking good for Miya.
No, it's not. In the meantime, Miya is taking his 3rd base, and he's got some drones up as well, but you're right, that should have done way more damage. 1 more Baneling would have been all that was needed, or even a couple of Lings in that mineral line. You see how low a lot of those SCVs are? That would have actually been massive. That would have been half the mineral line gone, but you could see that Miya knew there was going to be Widow Mines back there, and he was able to effectively detonate them this time around. But the first time when he tried to bust, he sent Lings forward, but they weren't able to survive long enough to trigger the Widow Mine lock-on. It takes about 1.5 seconds for that Widow Mine to actually shoot. So if the Ling dies before the lock-on finishes, then the Widow Mines don't go off. I have to wonder if Miya even thought there were Widow Mines there in the first place.
Yeah, he might have missed them up until he saw those first detonations. The one thing that's going good for Miya is the STC really delayed his starport in order to get all those bunkers and those troops out in the field. So, I mean, this attack doesn't have medevacs, so potentially a great flank, or you know, he catches him off guard with some banings without the ability to pick the units up and get him out of danger. Miya has an opportunity to come back into this game by totally squashing this army.
That's very true, and the STC is trying to work his way through these creep tumors as well, and Miya will have seen that there were Widow Mines going down there. He's building an Overseer in response to that too, in fact, and he's also going to have Roach and Baneling speed ready, because STC couldn't really risk just pushing forward. In fact, I think STC just backs off at this stage. He kills some creep, and it's like, why on earth would I engage here without medevacs? That's suicide.
And, you know, Miya's been seeing this push. He's like, all right, I got to make units, and that's exactly what he's doing, and he's not making, like, he doesn't have any upgrades, first of all. We have 2-2 is about 50% of the way done here for STC. We have yet to see any upgrades as far as from the evolution chambers from Miya, which could be potentially a recipe for disaster, as if STC gets too far ahead in that regard, it's going to be very difficult for Miya to take any straight-up engagements, especially without something like, you know, Infestors or something like that.
Yeah, if he was able to combo something like that, then it would make a lot of difference, especially with that many roaches and a very small number of medevacs. But I don't know about this push out here from Miya. I don't know if that's a great idea.
I think he feels he has to deny a third base from the STC. He's going to try to do it, but now there's medevacs in the field. The bio is hiding very well, and it has sim and upgrades. The roaches just are no match.
That doesn't work. I don't think so, unless he's able to get banelings to connect, or preemptive splitting here by STC. Takes most of the banelings out before it even happens. There are actually enough roaches here to break that army, probably because of the low medevac count, and he's actually going to go straight for the natural, which I don't agree with. I think, oh no, he's striking the third as well. He's going to Ling run by on the third base.
He's going pretty all in with this. Nothing but units, actually, just as I say that, starting up 1-1, so he must have ideas of transitioning, but investing a lot into this aggression has to get a significant amount of damage done. Now, STC is down to 93 supply, but Miya still spewing unit after unit across the field, and STC forced to retreat to his natural expansion. Third base is successfully going to be denied here, and he's actually going to use that command center to scout a little bit.
You know what's
no widow mines here. This is really nice for Miya. If he can get good baneling connections here, this could do so much damage to STC.
Definitely going to rely on the banelings going forward, as the upgrades are so much in STC's favor. STC's trying to move out, but the banelings hit from both sides.
The banelings going straight to the natural expansion, taking down one bunker, but it looks like they're all starting to run out. More are going to be rolling on in here, but FCC adding more and more Marines and Marauders to this competition. Every bunker is gone. Banelings trying to make their way into the SCVs. The STC deciding to pull the SCVs to deflect this attack, and STC looks like he is going to hold. Meanwhile, he has a Marine Marauder drop there at his opponent's third base, taking down Jones, taking down a Queen, and STC is going to pull this back into his favor, I think.
It looks
These
like
upgrades are really kicking in now here for STC. Look at this.
2-2 Bile versus 0-0 Zerg. The one thing Miya was hoping is that STC would starve out. Of course, with that very fast third orbital command, STC's mining out his main and natural insanely fast. He has to get that third base established. Just now, it looks like the third base is landing over the top.
There's a Overlord
creep. So, you know, if Miya can keep the 9F another about 2 minutes, STC will starve out. The problem is, even if he can't mine too much anymore, he already has a very big army with 2-2 upgrades.
Yep, it's starting to equalize. The 1-1 is about to finish, and that will help, especially if he has a baneling heavy composition. They do negate upgrades quite nicely. But as you said, STC is powering down on that third base, and if he kills that, then Miya is in such a huge amount of trouble.
You know, Miya's very low econ throughout this game, and having to just spam out the units here to deal with this. STC going straight for that third base, but here come the roaches and the banelings. He is on creep. He can potentially lift up into the Medevacs, but no, just going to turn around and face his fears, knocking down the banelings and the roaches. Yeah.
It's being so Marauder heavy and going then Roach Baneling just doesn't work out very well, and the third base is clearly dead. Third base has been denied for years by the looks of it. STC doesn't have anything there, but with the third, and Miya GG's right there. He didn't have the right composition to deal with that army coming in at him. It was too Marauder heavy. The Banelings weren't going to do the job. He needed more Lings, and obviously being behind in upgrades, it wasn't going to work out.
Fantastic series, that was.
Yes.
It was great.
I enjoyed that.
I think it might have been the series of the day.
Oh.
I think so. That was a really good series.
Yeah, of course. Congratulations to STC getting advanced for the next round of the winner's bracket. I think that means he's 1 round away from qualifying. Of course, unfortunately for me, he will be dropped down to the lower bracket, but he's still in this tournament, so we'll have to see what he can make happen. Anything else to add to that series? I thought it was fantastic. Just that last game, Miya going for that 2-base aggression, and once you invest so much into a bust like that, it kind of snowballs a little bit, and he kept trying to do essentially all in after all in, as weird as that sounds. Just really tried to make STC, but STC ultimately just had too much. Just stayed strong throughout.
Yeah, there were so many moments in that game where it could have just been completely different. Like one more Baneling through there, a couple of Lings through there, dealing more damage to the economy. It was so knife-edge the entire way through, and there were, I would say, 8 to 10 instances where STC could have just died outright. So you got to give him all the credit in the world for not doing that and defending every single last attack.
Yeah. So again, great job to STC, get advanced to the next round. And we're going to head on into a break, and then we'll be back with, it looks like Crank versus Apocalypse. That should be great. And Total Biscuit, I want to say goodbye, but I also want to say thank you for joining us on the stream. Always a pleasure to have you assist with MLG casting.
It's all good, man.
You're great at what you do.
It's absolutely my pleasure. You guys can finish out the night.
Thank you. Thanks again for coming on. Tomorrow, if you want to come on, that's great. Maybe we'll see you throughout the WCS. So once again, Total Biscuit, thank you, and Have a great night. And again, guys, follow him on Twitter at Total Biscuit. He has some illustrious tweets. Also, you'll see him post on Reddit quite a bit.
Too much.
Some good comments. So, Total Biscuit, thank you once again. And guys,
It's all good.
we'll be right back with Crank versus Apocalypse. Don't go anywhere.